New tonight, a little good news, a little bad news for Congressman Anthony Weiner. Late this evening, the House of Representatives approved his request for a 2-week leave of absence. The bad news, Congressman, is that President Obama does not have your back. Tonight, the president said if he were in Weiner's predicament, he would resign. The New York Democrat has checked himself into a treatment center in the wake of his sexting scandal.
However, we do not know which rehab center that Weiner's checked himself into, nor has he revealed what exactly he's in rehab for.
The question has arisen, could it be sex addiction? But he says he never had sex with any of the women he contacted on Twitter. Lindsay Mass's talked with a psychotherapist about what may be going on.
Sex addiction seems pretty sexy with shows like Sex Rehab with Dr. Drew. And when a high-profile congressman like Anthony Weiner gets caught up in a sex scandal, you have to wonder, will he end up in sex rehab too?
I think it's kind of ridiculous.
He didn't have any kind of physical relations with these women.
More to save face than for any other reason.
Could Anthony Weiner have a sex addiction or some sort of narcissistic text addiction?
He could be in a rehab for behavioral issues, emotional issues, or sexual issues.
I sat down with Dr. Anita Gadhia-Smith, a psychotherapist that specializes in addiction. She says sex is not a requirement.
Pornography and different types of things that are under the domain of sexual addiction, but not necessarily involving sex itself.
She says a lot of VIPs end up going to private inpatient facilities, and it all starts with a thorough evaluation.
Antidepressants are sometimes helpful.
And then there's treatment.
So it's a combination of individual therapy, group therapy, 12-step meetings.
Dr. Gadhia-Smith says Weiner is likely suffering from what's called a developmental arrest.
We see 16-year-old boys who play this game of I'll show you mine, you show me yours. It's not quite as appropriate in your 40s.
She says Weiner doesn't have to resign, but a timeout from the stress of politics could be helpful.
Absolutely, he can recover. It's very treatable.
And she said that there is a way that we can all figure out if he's truly having an addiction, and that is if he keeps up what he has been doing even after his public shame.